tickets up to $2,500 for draw and instant games. The General Store on 24 is located on Route 24 in Lewis.
All right, this story is definitely trending. A lot of people talking about it out of Baltimore.
Hello, I am Elena Russo, Public Information Officer for the Maryland State Police.
It's only coming out of one channel. I apologize, but you can go ahead and listen.
Before we begin, let me stress that all information we're about to discuss is preliminary and it is subject to change. This is an ongoing investigation. Again, everything is preliminary and subject to change. The Maryland State Police were contacted by the Pennsylvania State Police when they were attempting a traffic stop on a car that matched the description of a suspect vehicle involved in an incident in Baltimore County. The Maryland State Police were given the location of this vehicle, which was approaching the Maryland line. That was heading south towards Waynesboro, Pennsylvania on Ringgold Pike in Smithsburg, Maryland. Shortly after crossing into Maryland, the vehicle traveled off of the highway and struck a fence line. Police surrounded the vehicle, attempting to make contact with the occupants. At approximately 2:30 p.m., our crisis negotiation team on scene made several attempts to contact the occupants of the vehicle. After receiving no response and low visibility within the vehicle because of a thick layer of smoke that was contained within the interior of the vehicle, police made entry into the passenger side. That is when they observed the driver and 3 backseat passengers, 2 of which were juveniles. All 4 individuals appeared to have suffered apparent gunshot wounds. 3 people were pronounced deceased on the scene, including the female driver, an adult male, and 1 juvenile, both of which were backseat passengers. The 3rd backseat passenger, a juvenile, was medevaced to Meritus Medical Center in Hagerstown, where she was pronounced deceased. Identification of all 4 individuals is pending next of kin notification. Based on the vehicle involved in the short pursuit in Pennsylvania and the circumstances surrounding this incident, police believe they know who the individuals are. However, because it is still an active crime scene investigation, we cannot release the identity of the occupants of the vehicle. Investigators do believe this incident is potentially related to 2 other incidents, one in Maryland and one in Pennsylvania. This is a complex incident, is going to take time. Our investigators are on the scene now, and again, it is an active crime scene. We are really working hard to understand what occurred, and we hope to have our next briefing as a news release that I will get out to you hopefully this evening with more information.
All right, so there you go. Apologize, only coming out of one channel, but that's coming from WBAL. Sources all dead. All 4 dead in manhunt for former officer.
Awful. That's a shame.
It was just unbelievable. 798 texted in. Very, very sad news from Baltimore. Prayers. I'm a parent of 2 daughters. Could not even imagine. No, I already know. So thoughts and prayers going out. Very, very sad situation. Another story that's trending. This coming from the New York Post. A Pennsylvania man punched a 1-year-old baby in the face at a hospital after he said he was told he must hurt a boy in order to go to heaven.
Stop it.
According to police. Elijah Gable, age 19, was in a wheelchair at Butler Memorial Hospital where he had been involuntarily committed on his way to a behavioral health urgent care area on Tuesday night when he suddenly arose and approached a mother and her 20-month-old child, according to court documents. A hospital employee tried to call for help to hit the code yellow button and call for assistance. The mother told cops that Gable approached the chair where she was seated with her son in the triage area from behind and began staring at the child. His presence made her uneasy. She ran into another room with the baby. Gable followed her into the room where he swung and punched the child in the face. Gable told the officer that he has tasks he needs to complete to get into heaven, and he was told to hurt a baby. Court documents said. According to the complaint, the baby's cheek was red. No other obvious signs of injury. So thank God. Gable was quickly subdued by hospital staff and security. He's facing charges of aggravated assault of a child, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. He is yet to be arrested and charged according to the Butler Eagles. So there you go. Pennsylvania man punches baby in face in order to get into heaven.
That's
All
crazy.
right.
This is crazy.
Another story coming from the New York Post. A New Orleans woman who stole more than $2 million in inheritance money from an autistic man after she posed as an attorney has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. All right. Christina Gouger, 45, pleaded guilty on Monday to theft valued at more than $25,000 and 3 counts of practicing law without a license after she defrauded an adult autistic man whose parents had just died. 59-year-old autistic man lost both his parents in 2015, leaving him millions of dollars and a home in New Orleans.
Oh, boy.
The trust was being administered by Legacy Law Center,
Here we
a
go.
planning firm where Gouger worked, according
worked
to the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Yes. In 2016, Gouger first identified herself to the man as a lawyer, despite not being licensed to practice. She gained the unsuspecting man's trust and convinced him to give her power of attorney. Isn't that jacked up? She then slowly began to drain
So he
the
gave
man.
her a power of attorney.
Yeah, he's autistic. He was left millions of dollars. You know,
Wow.
he's an older gentleman, 59 years old. Probably doesn't understand what's going on.
That's a shame.
She said, I'm a lawyer. Just sign this over to me and I'll take care of it for
He
you.
believed it.
Yeah. She then began to slowly drain the man of his assets. She purchased a Jaguar in the victim's name, although he never drove it. She also used money for vacations, hosting parties, and buying clothing and other luxury items for her personal use. She convinced the man to sign his home over to her in 2017 after she told him a group of neighbors was trying to kick him out and have him sent to a mental institution. She told him signing over the house to her was the only way to prevent this. By the time the man finally reported Gouger to the police, she had completely drained all the cash from the trust fund.
No.
Gouger was arrested December of 2019. In addition to fraud and license wraps, she also has been charged with theft, laundering money in the amount greater than $100,000, exploitation, 3 counts of bank fraud, and 2 other counts of theft. The other charges were dropped Monday, according to NOLA.com. So that is just so jacked up. She was ordered to pay restitution to all her victims, including $1.3 million to the autistic man, according to court records. But here's the thing.
Wow. Where's she going to get it from?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, restitution, yeah, they can take an amount out of her paycheck if she works every week.
But she's in jail.
But, okay, so that's not going to work.
So now what?
So how does she pay it back?
Yeah. Is he ever going to see that money?
But $1.3 million and other victims as well. You know how long it's going to take to pay that back when she does get out of jail? It's not like, they're given one lump sum and it's paid off. No.
You can pull it out of thin air?
She's
You know what I'm
also
saying?
allowed to make a payment arrangement. So if she can only afford $20 a week, they'll take $20 a week
That's jacked
to
up.
try to get $1.3 million.
And Jess, this is a story for you.
What's up? What's up?
Tiger King. Did you guys watch Tiger King yet?
Part of it. We started it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we did.
And?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not like the first one?
Some of it was not appropriate, and Jess was in and out of the room. So I said,
Well, the
"We
first
gotta
one wasn't
wait."
appropriate.
No, it was all right. But some of the stuff
first
in
one
this
wasn't appropriate.
It started off inappropriate.
Okay.
With some of the language.
Well,
and
good
what
to
they were
know.
talking
Good
about.
to know.
So I said we have to turn this off and let's come back to it. But we did start it.
Tiger King star Carol Baskin has repeatedly refused to speak to a Florida detective investigating the disappearance of her second husband who vanished in 1997.
Yeah, she's not going to talk on it.
Corporal Garcia of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said Thursday that Baskin turned down 3 interview requests after the investigation into the disappearance of Don Lewis was reopened following a widely popular Netflix documentary. When Lewis, a Tampa millionaire, vanished, Baskin was left with dozens of big cats at her annual sanctuary. Tiger King sparked wild rumors and theories into Lewis's fate. The sequel to the series was released on Wednesday. Some have speculated the man was buried in a septic tank at the sanctuary, while others believe he may have started a new life in Costa Rica.
Okay.
That's another rumor out there. Maybe he's
Alright.
still out there.
I thought that she
Baskin.
fed them to the cats.
That's another rumor that's
Yeah.
out there. That I guess the New York Post, I don't know if they're reporting on that yet, but Baskin told the Associated Press that she referred Garcia to her lawyer. She also said she cooperated fully with authorities during an internal investigation. There's nothing that I know that is not either the sheriff's in the sheriff's files or in the diary I've published at SaveTheCats.org, Baskin told a news service. And no way am I gonna, have a clear memory of anything to add 24 years later. So she said, I've already said everything.
Yeah.
Baskin herself recently offered her own take on what happened to her second husband in response to a question on Reddit. She said she believes he died in a plane crash over the Gulf of Mexico. She said he wasn't licensed to fly, yet did all the time. He couldn't file a flight plan and had to take off from closed airports to evade detection. I think this is the most likely scenario, is what she says.
Wow. I never heard that before.
Carol Baskin.
But with the new show,
Yeah.
they do start off by saying, on one side of it, Joe's in prison. You see him talking from the prison phone. You see him, going through. He's part of this documentary, and
Yeah.
they're piecing it all together. And on the other side, they say that the attacks, the emails, the death threats, everything that Carol Baskin has received completely flipped her life upside down. So on one side of it, Joe Exotic and that other guy, Jeff Lowe,
Yeah.
he's making so much money off Tiger.
That's
King.
crazy.
He says that he has so much money just overflowing from everywhere. The way he talks, he's like, I have more money than God. And you see,
I believe it.
You see him at a jewelry store. You see him holding this necklace.
He got that
pendant
Dubai
that's
money.
on there, and it says Tiger King. He does.
The
And
Dubai
then,
money.
I guess whatever area he has now, I'm gonna just say the cat zoo, sanctuary, whatever they call it. I don't
Yeah.
know, but he has a big, huge TK that he got set up there. So pretty much they're showing both sides. On her side, it's everybody is attacking her. She's receiving death threats after the first one came out. And then for him, he's richer than ever. People want to go to his house. They have to set up interviews. They want to do selfies, pictures. The lines to go in are just wrapped around, just hundreds of people just wanting to be a part of Tiger King.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then there's Jessica and Chadwick right there in line.
Right there.
And then finally, we talked about this earlier, but this story is just so huge and it's making the rounds online. It's just awful, gut-wrenching. Former Jet Zach Stacy was arrested in Florida last night after not allegedly.
This is awful.
He did. You saw the video. He attacked his ex-girlfriend this past Saturday, in front of their 5-month-old son. The 30-year-old former NFL running back was charged with aggravated battery and criminal mischief over a caught-on-camera assault by his baby mother, Kristen Evans, at their home on Saturday, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Police said that Stacy fled the Sunshine State after his alleged attack, but he was arrested by Orlando police. The former athlete's being held at Orange County Jail. Stacy allegedly flew into a fit of rage after arriving at Evans' home to visit their son. He struck her on the right side of her head, picked her up, threw her against the television, causing it to crack and fall over, according to police. He continued yelling at her and striking her while she got up from the floor, picked her up again, threw her into the baby's bouncy chair, according to the arrest affidavit. While she was still on the floor pleading for him to stop, he picked her up, body slammed her into the baby walker, causing the object to break. In a restraining order, Evans claims that Stacy had been abusing her since she became pregnant with his child last year, with terrifying attacks escalating. The woman said she previously filed a police report in October when Stacy allegedly slapped her while she was holding her son. Stacy, a former 5th-round NFL pick, played in 8 games for the Jets in 2015. Before that, he was with the St. Louis Rams for 2 years.
Wow.
So Zach Stacy, the video, is up, and it's just awful. I mean, it is awful. She had it on tape, which I guess she had cameras in there secretly recording, and she put it up on her Instagram with a plea for help. She tagged the NFL, she tagged CNN, she tagged all these different outlets.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
And said somebody,
that's where he went to school.
Yeah, please find him. And that's how it went wild.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to watch. That's a shame.
it's awful to watch. I mean, it makes you sick watching, how can somebody do something like that? So 7:57. It's a Bill and Jessica show. We got the 8 o'clock old school mixtape on the way on a Friday. You want in on the brand new car? Got to come out to our live broadcast. We're going to be out and about today and tomorrow. Here are the